All right, progress video. I've got the rear caliper off. I've got the rear chain off, getting ready to pull the rear wheel. Kevin's working on the front end. He's got the front caliper off. He's taking off the hydraulic hoses now. So progress is being made and the fun just never stops. So here we go. It's a good day. Now the rear wheel's off, rear axle, rear caliper, sprockets, chains, all off. I'm going to drop off the fender now. Kevin's up here undoing hydraulic lines. This hydraulic setup here is 3 separate lines, each one with junction blocks, and we're going to replace them all. You just got to keep digging. All right. So this my next little adventure will be taking that rear fender off. That'll let me get to the back side of the oil tank and the back side of the oil bottle, the battery box. And those have to come out next. Yeah. Here's the sprocket and the caliper and the brake mount assembly and the adjusters and the chain and some of the tools that were required to get it off, including John Henry, the big breaker bar. Ooh, that was a tough one. The axle nuts were put on using the philosophy, if some tight is good, more tight is better. So we took the breaker bar to break them free. All right, more progress. Rear fender's off, rear wheel's off. I don't know what all's off. Everything back here is off. I'm getting closer and closer to the oil tank, battery box. This is the horn. If you ever want to work on the horn, you have to take all this stuff out. It's wonderful. Over here, I've just gone ahead and cut off all the wires that were hanging out. And now I've just cleaned them all up, and I will completely rewire, starting with these wires going to wherever they're supposed to go, rather than trying to make the old harness work. Kevin has the whole front brake assembly off, and the fender. All that's off. Master cylinder's off. And we've made some good progress today. So, a little bit more and we'll call it the day. All right, it's about 2:30 and we're tired. Yeah, about 2:30 or so up there. We have the complete rear assembly almost completely off. Oil tank is out. Oh, you got the battery box. No, battery box is still in. Okay, yeah. Battery box is still in. Horn is still in the way. The air box is still in place. We'll take all this out tomorrow morning, and that'll give us access to the rear isoelastics, which is right in here. I've stripped out, these are the same wires from the other side. I just pulled them over here for convenience. This little mess up here, the thing when you put electronic ignition on, which somebody did, this is a boiler up here, you don't need about half of these wires anymore. When you put in a solid state charge regulator and a solid state ignition system, a lot of these wires just become superfluous. For example, that's not needed at all. It's just going to be tossed away. A lot of these wires are going to be truncated and sealed, and only the ones that are needed to actually run the bike will be rehooked. Now, the good news is I know where every one of these wires come from, I know where every one of these wires go to, and I know where every one of these wires, what they do for a living. So this is not intimidating at all. I know the color codes by heart, and when I go to put it back together, the wiring will be just neat as a pin, nice and concise, no more wires than are necessary, and it'll look really nice. So believe it or not, all of this doesn't scare me one little bit. I've done this so many times that these wires are second nature. So we made a lot of progress today, and we're going to call it a day because Kevin's tired, I'm tired, and I hear a nap calling my name.